Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and if you're new, please consider subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help the channel out with the YouTube algorithm. And today we're going to have a look at Muc-Off X-3 Dirty Chain machine. So let's do this thing. So before we head over to the bench, I must state that I bought this myself after my last chain cleaning device broke. I'll leave the link over there at the top, and you can have a look at that video if you want to. That will stop working. Maybe some of it was my fault, and some other things also went wrong. But never mind that. We're going to have a look at the new one. So let's head over to the bench. So Muc-Off has some very attractive packaging with a pink, easy to see, and obviously attracts your eye very nicely. You've got some nice pictures. Shows you there that it's going to, what the train looks like before and after. We'll test that now. Hopefully it does turn out like that. Obviously just give you some examples of how to hold it and use it. It comes with a degreaser, biodegradable stuff. And you can see here at the top here they've got two stamps for really biodegradable and Project Green. So let's just open the box for a quick unboxing here. So that's what comes in the box, a little sample of the degreaser, and it looks like it's a child lock degreaser cap on it. So you got to push and turn it. There we go. And as you can see here, it's got a little insertion tool over here on the top. I don't know if you can take this off. Oh, you can. So you can take that off, refill this, and then reuse this actual device or applicator to put the stuff into the actual tool itself. It also comes with the handle to hold it, and some instructions, and then the actual unit itself. As you can see, once again, pretty much pink all over to identify the product. And what makes this a little bit different to any normal chain cleaner is that the actual stuff or the degreasing liquid gets put into the top. The one I had in the past, you put it just into the bottom here. In other words, you open the device. So we're going to open the device like that. You'd pour the degreaser in the bottom here, and then this would run around with the brushes, pick up the degreaser, clean the chain, and then obviously go to the bottom again. In doing so, I think the thinking with this is that with the old method, obviously the degreaser lies in the bottom here. It's been circled around, cleaning the chain, the dirt goes back into the degreaser, and you're basically pushing that into the chain again, and off it goes. But I must say the other methods or the other devices are very functional. I've had no issue with them, but this is a novel way of doing it. So let's open up the device. It's got a little clip on the side here, nice wire metal clip with a hard plastic over there. So it clips off the one side there, and then you pull it out like that. Now if you look carefully over here, you can see that this has got sort of like plastic connectors over here that are going to actually hold the lid in place. So if you, for example, by accident lifted it up like that, just in a rush to obviously open the lid, you lifted it up at an angle, you would say goodbye to those little clips over there, and that would be the end of your chain cleaning device. So a little bit worried about these over here. I hope they stand the test of time. It is a concern of mine this year, because this is what broke on my last one, the clips that actually hold the unit in place. So I hope that doesn't happen here. And obviously the handle goes on like so. You can hold it like that, or you can put the handle in the other way if you want to hold it sort of at an angle. So it's either going to be like that or like that. Depends on obviously what your preference is. Now looking at the lid itself, it's got these little brushes here for the chain, and then it's got this filling reservoir at the top here that you put your liquid in through this little hole over here. You can see that there. And then the liquid should actually stay in there until you push down on that button there, releasing the actual degreaser onto the chain. So while you're turning it, no degreaser will come out. You press that down there, and that'll control the amount of degreaser that's been put onto the chain itself. Looking at the bottom, you've got a much simplified method that obviously you've got these little plastic, I don't know what this is, it's like a guide or something. It'll just scrape the side of the chain. I suppose you've got some very stubborn dirt or something stuck on the side of the chain, or the top, because obviously the top and the bottom go there. That's just going to help break that loose. And over here you've got your brushes that spin around and help clean the chain. Before we head over to the bike, let's have a look at the instructions, which I must say are quite comprehensive, to say the least. So it obviously describes how to use the applicator, how to put it into the reservoir at the top, and you fill it up to the line that's on the actual reservoir here. There it is there, fill to that level there. You then put the lid on, which we'll do that once it's filled. Put it on as such. Sorry, that way around, goes on like that. Put the chain in. Obviously this will have to be off. Put the chain, then that. Then put the handle on, whichever way I showed you that earlier. Can go either downwards or upwards. Sometimes I actually did on the last one, I actually held this thing and just turn it like that. And then instead of having the handle, but I mean everyone's got the handle, so I guess I'm supposed to use the handle. And then it just shows you how you hold the handle, and then while you're rotating you press this button to release the degreaser onto the chain and clean the chain. Okay, one last thing before we head over to the bike and see how it cleans. I think I'm going to actually fill the reservoir now with liquid. It'll be easier to do here. So we just take that, put it on the top there, get the full right line in the correct place. Obviously it's got to be this way up. Sort of just a squirting type action. Okay, it takes quite a lot of, I'm just going to put my finger over the degreaser, degreasing liquid in here. So at the end your bottle is left, I'd say about a third full. So you only get 3 applications out of this, unless you somehow clean the liquid once it's done and reuse it. But yeah, 3 uses of this. They also recommend don't use any petrol or anything, any flammable liquids in here. You should just use this. And what I've noticed from my other device, which I had a special chain cleaner, which was sort of like a paraffin based degreaser, it does obviously cloud the plastic and damage the plastic, so just be aware of that. So I think I'm going to stick to the biodegradable one. I mean, Muc-Off are very well known for their biodegradable stuff and friendliness to the environment, so we'll stick with that policy going forward, and let's see how this works. So as opposed to last time, or the last review I did on a chain cleaner, I did it on a clean chain. This is the bike I used today, so it's pretty dirty. Chain's dirty, so we're going to do the actual chain cleaning now and see how it actually compares, obviously a dirty chain, and what the result is going to be from that. So I'm hoping you can see on the video that the chain and drive chain is pretty dirty. If you can see, it's sort of oily. It's basically just sand, So it's mud that's dried on the bike. It was very cold today, lots of humidity in the air. So any dust that came up obviously stuck onto the bike and then has settled there, and that's what we're looking at now. So no mud, it's just basically condensation sitting on the bike, and then obviously it's been triggered by dust and that sat onto the bike. Now the first thing is that this chain is not horizontal, so I'm just going to adjust the stand to get the chain horizontal. I'll go to the other side quickly. I think for the best results we've got to get that as horizontal as possible. Okay, not 100% perfect, but I think it's going to do for this. So let me get the actual two devices. So the bottom half goes on the bottom like so. On the top, bearing in mind we've got those little clips there we don't want to break. So it slides in there like that. We clip it on there. Everything's so good, or good so far. First mistake, as you can see, you got to put the handle on first. Let's do that. And we'll put that on again. Now they say you should turn this about 30 times to get everything working. So we'll do that. Excuse the arm going back and forth. Let's quickly turn that like that. Now I'm going to start pushing that button at the top. And as you can see, I'm not holding the handle, but that's just so I don't obstruct the view. Notice every now and again it seems to hook and pull the whole device forward, but I mean obviously that's because it's new. And I don't know if you can really see at the bottom there, but there's dirt starting to collect at the bottom from obviously chain. So let's just carry on doing that. And I've actually worked out why it gets caught like that. It's when the master link goes past. Let's just carry on. Okay, so now if we just disconnect here quickly, remember to push forward, get it off. As you can see at the bottom here, there's all that liquid that's caught up at the bottom there is now black. So obviously that's come off the chain, so it's actually working extremely well. And the nice thing is this thing doesn't actually, because obviously the wheel is not lying in the degreaser, so it's not being pulled back up into the chain to basically contaminate it again with the next turn. So guys, I must admit, when I first bought this and I had a look at how it works with the reservoir at the top and then it goes down into the bottom, I actually had a bit of buyer's remorse. I'm so used to the other methods where you put the degreaser in the bottom and the wheels or the brushes pull it up into the chain. But this device definitely has, or this make definitely has a advantage in that you're not contaminating the chain you're cleaning again by pulling up the same dirty water. So it's actually a very novel idea. I'm just going to use these clips at the back and make sure they don't break off and look after it. But at this point, very impressed with it. I think the chain's looking good, clean, and I must get back to cleaning the bike now so I can get ready to ride again tomorrow. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.